Welcome back to Gaming News with Spoons. Let's go ahead and hop right into our articles today and start off with talking about Silicon Era's report that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sales exceeded my expectations, says director Tetsuya Takahashi. Now, we'll just go ahead and go in, kind of read a little bit of the article. According to Xenoblade 2 Chronicles and Torna The Golden Country, director Tetsuya Takahashi, the game and DLC have done far better than he expected, especially in North America and Europe. In a phone interview, Takahashi stated that he and Monolith Soft really saw more people pick up the game and experience it in North America and European territories than they thought. Although the Torna DLC hasn't been out long, Takahashi says the sales in Japan are exceeding expectations as well. So that's some pretty exciting news to hear that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is selling extremely well overseas as well as in Japan. I think this really shows that the Japanese market is still alive and well. People like me, people like you who enjoy Japanese RPGs should be excited about this news, because this does give Japanese developers an idea of, hey, we can put our game out there and this game is going to sell. We've seen such titles as the Yakuza franchise from Sega really exceed expectations of what Sega thought that the Yakuza games would do over here. We've seen Atlus even confirm that Persona 5 sold significantly far better than what they were thinking that it was going to. So it is showing these Japanese developers that there definitely is money to be made overseas. And I do hope we see more Japanese developers, maybe such as Falcom or some of these other niche Japanese RPG games that have never made their way over. See a release over here stateside, see a release over here in Europe and PAL regions, so we're able to go in and enjoy those games. Let's go ahead and hop over to our next bit of news here. This is a duology that of course is coming to the PlayStation 4, and this is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 for PlayStation 4, coming west early in 2019. Xseed Games announced that it is bringing The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel and Trails of Cold Steel 2 for PlayStation 4 to the West in 2019. The PlayStation 4 version of Legend of Trails of Cold Steels and Cold Steels 2 will be the first time in series history to come with Japanese voices for each of the game's myriad of characters. Those who go with English dub will also get to enjoy 5,000 plus additional English voice lines that were previously available on the PC editions. For those of you with the PC editions of Cold Steels 2's Japanese voices will come available free update with an upcoming patch. Both games on the PS4 will be sold in two separate physical launch editions at $49.99 each. Now, that last part does have me a little bit disappointed here. So essentially that's saying that both games are going to be sold at $50 a piece in this limited edition, but I'm just glad that these games are getting a second chance. Again, as I mentioned with Falcom, Legend of Heroes and East being the two main staple games that are really known from them outside of Japan, that we know here in America. I would like to see these games, of course, succeed. I'm glad that they are. Hopefully this also does give Falcom the incentive and Xseed the incentive to go out and make these games readily available so they can port over 3 and 4, which have yet to actually receive official English translations or even be brought over here to America. I do hope that this is kind of that gateway to get us those entries and continue to bring their games over, because Falcom is one of the most overlooked Japanese RPG companies that I feel, but I also feel they're a bit of the underdog when it comes to gaining some notoriety and popularity. I think that their time is coming for them to kind of explode onto the scene. Our next bit of news we're going to hop into is about the game Left Alive Director on difficulty, music, main characters, and the meaning behind its title. For those of you who don't remember, if you remember, Left Alive was the game that Square Enix announced back last year, and this is done. The art direction's done by the guy who did Metal Gear. This is also part of the front mission, so let's just go ahead and hop right into it. So it says here, what is the meaning of the game's title Left Alive? Toshifumi Nabashima, director. There are many choices with the game and story and the gameplay that are affected by the player's decisions. At the surface, Left Alive can simply mean to live or to survive, but we also have additional layers of meaning in mind, how you choose to live. 3 characters have no prior relationship with each other, and each individual is found isolated within the same city. The first character, Mikhail, is a young member of the army and is a Wanzer pilot that has been tasked with defending the city. After his army platoon destroyed by the attack, he finds that he is a lone survivor. Although he is the current member of the army, he is still young and inexperienced as a person. And the story follows as he gradually grows within the trying environments. The second character, Olga, is a female police officer. Though she used to be in the army, a certain event caused her to lose her young daughter, leading to her quitting the army. With the strong sense of justice and self-spirit, she tries to devote her strength to helping others amidst the chaos of war. Her story follows as she is forced to face her past trauma with this process. The third character, Leonid, is a male inmate who has escaped from the death row. In the past, he was deeply involved with the liberation efforts that used to keep the city that serves as the backdrop of the story. It was here a few years prior that he was condemned to death as a result of a related incident. The sentencing should have been carried out already, and the public believes he is dead. In reality, he is being kept alive for reasons unbeknownst even to him. In the trailer, you note that there were humanity's mistakes. Can you elaborate on this? Within the world of the game, large and small wars break out more frequently in reality. With these wars come immoral experiments and weapon development, which should have reminded us time and again of the stupidity of these actions, and yet these actions still don't stop. So, considering director Toshifumi Nabashima's background, can we expect the game to be extremely difficult for hardcore players? You could say that choices are the theme of this game, and solutions depending on the way you play or the situation. I think there will be differences that start coming to light where the same situation could be very challenging or surprisingly easy depending on how you handle it. You might make mistakes sometimes, but I am hoping everyone will enjoy the process of trial and error as well, so I think the game will probably not be that easy. And it was mentioned that the play method is up to the players. Can you elaborate if this means it will have endless possibilities like an open world game? It's not on a huge scale as an open world game, however we are aiming to make this kind of game that accepts multiple solutions in limited situations. The destination will be specified, but the road to get there, as well as the actions like whether you decide to defeat enemies or move forward while hiding yourself, are choices you can make. This does sound like a very interesting concept for a game. It's something that I wanted to see more of. Square Enix has, for the latter part, been one of my favorite video game developers. Despite a few hiccups here and there, some issues that I have with them, I still very much do have faith in Square Enix to deliver some good games. So I definitely want to see more of what Left Alive is going to give us. And our last bit of news we're going to hop into here is, of course, Kingdom Hearts, the story so far coming to October. Unfortunately, just on the PlayStation 4, so if you're an Xbox One owner or a Nintendo Switch owner, you're going to miss out on this. But essentially what this is it has 2.5 and 1.5 remix, as well as 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, all in one collection for you to go in and play. So essentially, you are getting a total of 5 games, 1 mini episode, a playable mini episode, and 2 cinematic movies that you can sit down and watch, along with a little short film called Backstory X. And this is the perfect way to catch up with the story before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Kingdom Hearts 3 story is definitely very convoluted, very hard to follow, and I feel like Some people who pick up Kingdom Hearts 3 and are going blindly into the story are going to be sorely left behind, because there's so much going on in the story, so many events that it's going to have to wrap up from a decade of waiting and a decade of anticipation and building up towards this title. I do feel like that this is going to be, a lot of people are just going to be left behind. So if you have a PlayStation 4, you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, you haven't caught up on it, this is the perfect way to do it if you're looking for that opportunity to go in and do so. Guys, that is going to conclude our new segment here on the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit subscribe there for me to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, latest Japanese gaming news, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. Spoons is checking out.